Great piece. This is what I found here. Um, I found this page right here. All right, so now the thing that caught my eye was like the tribes were supposed to receive an annuity check. Um, it says right here, um, $1,666.66 direct payment. The Heron, the southeastern Michigan. So that would be southeast, right here. Okay, it says 1795, and that's around the time that the Barbie treaties were taking place in 1807, 1815. That's around the time Illinois was erected, or the charters were written over again. All right, so what happened to this money? The money is supposed to increase as time goes on. What happened to all that money? Because I know like the Potawatomi, the Huron people, they can be like the people with the last name Portis or Porter. It's a lot of people in Detroit with names like that. So you got to wonder like what happened to the money that they were supposed to receive. Why aren't they receiving it now? Like you have all of these business offices that stand on these lands, and they aren't paying their dues to these tribes. All right, all right, so I guess these are the people with the names who signed the treaty. It's weird, man. It's weird, man, because it's like you make a treaty um, with the people who are just coming on this land, and you don't live up to it. At least lot less to be desired. At least a lot less to be desired, man. Because I just think like you have all these Afro people on this land, and they're dying off and struggling because they can't keep up with the basic necessities and basic needs. This is an actual treaty and an actual image of the ports back then. Okay, these are like 1837, a treaty then, 1819, another treaty, 1817, 1821, 1815. All right, so these are when the states are getting new charters after the Barbary Wars. All right, the Barbaries, they were helping the Albions come into power because they I guess they got tired of taking care of them. Like when you look at the images of like Barbary powers, and like Barbary chiefs, them cleaning the Europeans and stuff like that, bathing them. Um, these were like your plantation chiefs, all right? Because like when you look at America, it wasn't all the same. It wasn't all the same. So it was like what was happening during this period in time where people were making Albions, where they were making like a lot of Albion children. One second. Yeah. So when you think like they were making all of these Albion children, and then you have Barbary chiefs from the east, from the west coming in, the south, the north. Like, what was happening during these periods? Like, what were the relations between the different tribes and the different nations? Because it just doesn't make sense. Like, how do you start a new charter and the people who were ceding land and giving up land and reserving land, reserving rights, they weren't getting their fair share? Because, like, all these people still here and they get all they benefits from the Department of Human and Health Services. Like, you don't want to get your benefits from them because, like, they're not going to give you all your benefits. They're going to cheat you out of your benefits. That's why I always say, like, if you're running for office, political office, or you don't have aspirations or low desire, like, it's not that hard to just be an officer. It's not that hard to be in Congress. It's not that hard. It's not that hard to sit in a chamber, to be a judge or something like that, or be a clerk. It's not hard. All right? People should look at it as a sport. Like, it's not hard. All you have to do is get you canceled. And see, that's the thing I hate about people who aren't talented. Like, people who don't play sports and stuff like that. Like, I don't like people who sit in positions and, like, they, at the snap of a finger, they can fire you. Like, managers and stuff like that. I never liked managers and people. I never liked people who were given things and didn't know how to share it. All right? I always gave when I never had. And I always gave when I did have. I gave a lot when I did have a lot. I always gave a lot back. And I learned that just by playing basketball, like playing point guard. You have to give back, man. And I just never liked people who were never talented in that sense. Like, why are you a manager and you're telling me to do certain things and you're getting an attitude and you're quick to fire me when you know I have rights? You ever walked into an office and you always saw, like, that post on the wall that says, read your employee rights? The manager never paid attention to it. They didn't want you to see it. But every time you tried to use it, it was always a problem. And that goes for people who are sitting in these bureaus, in these offices. Like, we need to start letting them know, like, what is the treaty for Chicago? What is the treaty for Detroit? What is the treaty for Philadelphia? What is the treaty for New York? Where is the treaty for Richmond? Where is the treaty for Miami? Where is the treaty for Nebraska? Where is the treaty for South Dakota? Where is the treaty for Kentucky? Where is the treaty for Lexington? Where is the treaty for Arkansas? Where is the treaty for Little Rock? We need to start letting these people know, like, where are our treaties? And why aren't they following them? Why aren't they? So take a good look at this right here when it says this amount. Because you always have the possibility of a currency being devalued or revalued or pro-valued, given that time has taken place. The passing of time. And annuities, they never go anywhere. All right? People always get the history wrong, and they say stuff like, well, the people who are the Potawatomi are the Native Americans who are living on reservations now. They sold Detroit. And I always think, like, well, what is Detroit? Like, who founded Detroit to begin with? You can't sell something that was never yours. All right? And then when we look at early depictions, they're not even the people of the land. So it's like, what happened to this money? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to contact the White House. I'm going to contact the Interior Department. And I'm going to ask them about UNDRIP, United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous People, since we are a day ahead of this holiday. And I'm going to ask them about annuities from the Treaty of 1807 of Detroit with the Ojibwe and the Potawatomi, the Huron people. the people of Ann Arbor, the people of the Muskegon, the people of Saginaw, the people of Pontiac. I want to ask them about this, man, because it's like when you look at Detroit, like the city was not supposed to take that big of a hit when it filed for bankruptcy back in like '07, '08, '06. It wasn't supposed to happen, man. And like the people, they stayed here through all that mess, where like services, city services were like going interrupted. Like right now, Detroit has one of the poorest power grids. There was just a lightning outage the other day. All right, so that's all I want to say for this video, and I am closing out. Safe keep, peace keep.